the next movie, which was Dylan's pick, The Polar Express. Dylan, please explain the plot of The Polar Express to us.
This is a biased... anyway. So, The Polar Express is about a bunch of kids that get on this magical train headed for the North Pole, and, they have their adventures, some hijinks that ensue on the way there. They finally show up at the North Pole, and, the three main characters, the girl, the boy, and Billy, because he's apparently the only, kid who has a name in this movie, apparently. They gonna get lost in, Santa's factory and whatnot. And they end up falling in his bag. They see all these cool elf and Santa things going on. They're like, oh my god, it's Santa, look, it's Santa! Oh my gosh, don't you hear the bells? Didn't you hear the bells? And none of us hear the bells. And then the kid rings the bell at the very end, and then he finally believes. He believes before he rings the bell, but regardless. And then Santa's like, you're the one who gets the first present of Christmas. And he's like, I want the bell. And he's like, oh, he wants the bell! And he puts the bell in his pocket and he loses it. And then to this day, even as a grown man, when all of his friends have forgotten the sound of the bell, he still hears it. The end.
Whoa.
Alright, so Dylan, how do you feel about the fucking character design in this movie, okay? Does it hate with the Uncanny Valley at all? Are you put off by their designs at all?
No.
Okay. That's one thing I was really shocked about, honestly. None of us really were, off-put by the characters, which is, a big criticism most people have with this film.
Yeah, I think they were animated well, and I think that it's serviceable for the year it came out. I think that all checked out, at least on my box. The joke I made last week when I picked this movie is I remember you saying something about the animation and why you disliked this movie, which is why I picked it, to be completely honest. So when when you didn't say anything harsh about it when I picked it, I was surprised to say the least. You
were very sad.
But, I thought the animation in this movie was really well done. I thought, I liked the magic of the movie. I liked the childhood imagination to the movie. And, it was not... This was one of the movies that stood the test of time, at least for me. So, what are your guys' thoughts?
I liked it when we first watched it, but the more I thought about it, the more I was like, man, this movie just didn't really sit as well with me as I was initially thinking it did. I don't know, a lot of the fucking shit that just kind of happens throughout this movie doesn't really make any sense whatsoever. Why did they drive the train onto a fucking frozen lake? Why did the fucking Tom Hanks guy pull the little girl up on top of the train if he was taking her to the front of the train? Doesn't make any fucking sense at all, It just, a lot of this doesn't really follow through super great in my mind, unfortunately. And fucking...
Did he actually go on top of the train with her, though?
Yeah, we saw where else would he go? He took her back...
Wasn't that the homeless guys, though?
Yeah, that was the homeless guy's shadow.
It was a bait and switch.
I mean, he took her back there, and then, up at he saw, up on the top, a dude carrying, holding the hand of a little girl or something.
That's definitely what we're led to believe.
Well, I definitely think it's what happened. Because when he got to the top, of the train, if you watch, there's the lamp that he's holding. There's a bigger shadow figure, and then there's the smaller shadow figure right next to him. So
that could have been the homeless guy carrying his stool behind him. Christmas magic,
Yeah.
And also just the general themes of this movie don't really make a lot of sense to me, because it's going off these ideas faith and shit like that, of you need to believe or whatever the fuck. But a large part of belief is not being able to see the shit that you're trying to believe in, which kind of goes against him actually fucking seeing Santa Claus in the movie. Which I don't think makes a lot of sense. And also just generally, something that's always confused me about these sorts of Christmas movies is when the adults and shit don't believe in Santa Claus, when it's very obvious that he does exist. Where are these presents coming from otherwise?
Yeah, I think you're nitpicking it a bit there with that one specifically.
That's the main crux of the film. It's what the movie is about, Tanner.
All I'm looking for when I'm going into this movie is, does it have Christmas vibes? And this movie has Christmas vibes out the fucking wazoo.
It sure does.
And
S+.
Here's something that's important with Christmas vibes that old people trying to make these kinds of movies should keep in mind going forth. It should not be only happy and cheery. A good Christmas movie will always have something that's creepy, sad, or scary. It should always have that. Elf has, the park rangers, that's scary. This the fucking Nightmare Before Elm Street. What the fuck is
The Nightmare Before Christmas?
Obviously that one has lots of creepy vibes as well, but still very Christmassy. Home Alone has the fact that he's fucking abandoned. He goes to that church and it's sad. This is a very key component of Christmassy vibes, where in addition to all, peace on earth, goodwill towards men, you need that little kernel where it's like, oh, this is like also kind of a somber, reflective time of year. But yeah, I liked this one more than I thought I would.
I thought this movie was kind of mid. I think it was fun when they're on the train, and then it got really boring and kind of dumb when they actually landed in the North Pole.
Which takes up half the movie.
Yeah, literally, we got to the North Pole part, and I was joking about how we're probably only halfway, and then we were actually only halfway, and I was like, holy fuck, this sucks. And I'm totally with Nico on the themes of this movie. I'm probably not as harsh as he is about it in terms of my ranking, but yeah, this movie was pretty painfully average and kind of okay for me with some highlights.
Well, fantastic. Dylan, where do you rank in this movie?
You guys are breaking my heart here. I love this movie. This movie holds a very special place in my heart. I didn't find any fault in this movie. I thought it was pretty good. I gave Polar Express an S-.
Absurd. Jackson, where are you ranking it?
C+.
Yeah, I think I'm going to C myself. Tanner, how about you?
I'm gonna give this one a B+.
And that puts it at a solid B.
Sounds about right.
B
Moving
for
on.
Polar Express.